Women's basketball, after falling on Wednesday night at St. Louis, got back into the win column on Saturday with a 62-57 victory over Fordham. The Flyers bench provided a spark, and Nia O'Lear scoring 11 points to lead the way, and Molly O'Riordan added 9. UD out-rebounded Fordham by 22, and Ariana Smith tied a career high with 21 rebounds to go along with 10 points. The women are 15-12, 9-7 in the league. Men's basketball fell Friday night in a tight game at Loyola Chicago. 4 Flyers were in double figures, but UD lost 76-72. The Flyers sit in 4th place in the league at 8-6 and are 18-9 on the year. Dayton softball started their weekend with a 6-1 win at Georgia State, but fell in the second game to the Panthers 5-3. UD's trip to Atlanta ended Sunday with 2 losses at Georgia Tech. Dayton baseball played 3 games at number 10 Florida. The Flyboys were swept in the weekend series to the Gators. Women's tennis was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Saturday and Sunday, falling to both North Dakota and Marquette. It was a quiet week for Dayton track and field, with only a few Flyers in action. Anna Yater threw a personal best at Findlay in the weight throw and finished 3rd at the Flag City Open. Men's tennis, unfortunately, was out this weekend because of illness, but Mikkel Zinder and the Flyers have been on fire, winning 6 straight. And for Zinder, he's 8-0 this year. He's been named Atlantic 10 Player of the Week 3 times. The sophomore shares his thoughts on pickleball and whether he's superstitious out on the court.
Tennis is such a unique sport because I feel like there's stories of sort of people being superstitious. Are you? Do you fall under that category?
Very little, very little. I mean, just I have to wear white shoes. That's about it. White grip, and then use the same ball. That if I win that point, use the same ball. If I lose that point, that ball's not going to be seen.
So let the record know that he said very little and then named all.
There's 3 things, but there's more. There's more than a lot of people are very, very superstitious compared to me. So I think I'm very little compared to others.
What's your first memory of the sport, and how did you get involved in tennis?
First memory, I think. First memory, I can't really remember the first memory, but I remember playing baseball in my backyard with my dad, just hitting off a tee. And my dad was like, "Oh, yeah, you look like you have a good swing off a backhand, so let's just try tennis."
Oh, wow.
So baseball was kind of the way I got into it.
So baseball is your path to your tennis career.
Never played baseball, though.
And then
just
from that swing and hitting something hard,
yep,
you pick up a tennis ball, and then
it kind of worked.
It just builds.
Yeah.
So I was fascinated. We were talking before we started rolling. You're not that big of a tennis fan.
No.
So amongst asking a question of Nadal, Djokovic, or Federer, do you have an answer to it?
If I had to pick one, I'd say Federer, but I don't really care. I don't. I only watch. I rarely watch.
Just occasionally the Grand Slams?
Yeah, just the Grand Slams. That's about it.
That's fair. And I was kind of shocked in that I think a lot of the times you have inspiration of like sort of a player and playing style and sort of feeding off someone else's game. Yours is just kind of from coaching, right?
Yeah, just go with what I've been told pretty much. Growing up, I've had 3 different coaches back at home, 4th here, and listen to what they say.
So, that's important. With that though, what's your favorite thing about tennis?
It's got to be the competitiveness. Just being out there every single time when you play a match, and the different game styles you see, the different teams, different everything. Every match is different. Nothing is ever going to be the same. And I think just being out there and the drive to win, the competitiveness it's unlike any other.
So now we highlighted that you're not necessarily the biggest tennis fan, but you're a big sports fan.
Very.
What's your favorite sport to watch?
To watch, it's got to be either hockey or football. Got to be either hockey or
Now, you're an Eastern PA guy.
football.
I got to ask this question. Are you still buzzing after the Birds
Oh, yeah.
and the Super
Oh,
Bowl
yeah.
victory?
Oh, yeah.
So Philadelphia Eagles, your favorite team?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And hockey?
Yeah. Love hockey.
Philadelphia Flyers?
Yeah, the Flyers.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever stepped out on the ice?
I have. If I always tell my friends and my family, if there was one sport, if I could play that wasn't tennis, it'd be hockey. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we'll grab some skates.
Yeah.
You don't want to see me out there. Mikkel, I do have to ask another question and sort of your love for sports and being a tennis guy. Have you ever played pickleball?
I have. I hate it. I hate it. It's awful.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I guess this would go off of sort of your team.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty common, right?
Yeah.
Amongst tennis
Yeah,
players,
I think
being
there's some,
big
but
fans.
I'll tell you, we do have a couple of people on our team that love pickleball.
Okay.
Yeah. Not gonna name them, but you know who you are.
This entire interview will be available on Thursday at noon on Spotify, Apple Music, and our YouTube channel at Dayton Flyers. The action starts with Dayton baseball at NKU today at 2 o'clock. They visit Bellarmine tomorrow for a 3 p.m. first pitch, and the Flyboys will play their home opener against Bradley on Friday with a doubleheader that starts at noon. Sunday, they'll end the series with Bradley and a 12 o'clock start. Wednesday, women's basketball plays their last home game of the regular season against St. Joe's. Dayton will honor their seniors' first tip at 7 p.m. Men's basketball on the road Wednesday, 7 o'clock start against Rhode Island. On Saturday, the men return home when they face Richmond at 2. Women's basketball closes out their regular season on Saturday at St. Bonaventure with a 1 o'clock tip. Dayton softball will be at the Eastern Kentucky Colonel Classic, where they'll play Akron Friday, UIC and Akron on Saturday, and finish with a doubleheader Sunday against UIC and EKU. Best of luck to Dayton Track and Field, who will compete in the A10 Indoor Championships this Friday and Saturday in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Men's tennis is at home both Friday and Saturday against Southern Indiana and Thomas More. And women's tennis will also be at the South Regency Tennis Center in Miamisburg for Friday against Southern Indiana and Sunday against Miami of Ohio. For more information on Dayton athletics, visit DaytonFlyers.com and follow us on social media at Dayton Flyers.